Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We have with us two members of Project 40, and we were discussing before the break an initiative that the Prime Minister has brought to the forefront. It's coming to your mail soon. It's called National Conversation, and she wants you to say and fill out whether you think what makes Trinidad and Tobago a great nation. She wants you to say what you think, what problems or issues do you think the government should focus on. In other words, she's asking for dialogue and conversation with the people of Trinidad and Tobago some 7 months prior to the general election. What is your cheeky?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, but I think there's another way to have a dialogue with the nation, and it's called referendums. What do you think about this? We're planning to move in a certain direction. What do you think about this? And put it to the referendum. And that way you encourage the population to not only feel, but to know that they're participating in the process of governance.
Sure.
So just, filling out a form and asking a few questions, that's
We don't know what's going to happen with the forms, but it is an initiative being put forward by the Prime Minister some 7 months before general election. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon, Ms. Panday, and good afternoon to your panel.
Good evening. Sure, good evening.
Very beautiful program.
Thank you, sir.
You know something? I want to see you young people. You all are the future of this nation. And the time has come when all have to get together. Start keeping forums. If it's 10, 15, 20 people. And this movement will grow all over this country because there are too much of politicians charading all over this country, just using people, fooling people. If you read Sunday's Express, there were two beautiful articles on Sunday's Express. One by Sister Judy Kabral Singh
Yes.
and Rafiq Shah.
Yeah.
Two really, really beautiful articles.
Yes.
And you see, what I'm saying to you all, I'm 58 years old. I have been supporting politics since I'm 15 years. And the time has now come where we have to get rid of these old politicians. They reach to the point now where they have a sycophants. They're using the media, using the voting system on the television and so on, the polls and all these things,
Yes.
manipulating these systems.
Yes.
To say that the country wants this and the country supports this and the country supports that and the people for this and the people for that.
Yes.
There's a lot of misinformation going over this country
Yes.
concerning that highway reroad movement. They're not telling us, that with the area of the creek, what was supposed to be the 3-lane, that is 2-lane. Where is that money being, that extra money? Where's going on that money that was supposed to be the 3-lane there?
Yes.
Right? There's too much half-truths and innuendos in this country by these politicians and them. And young people, I want to see all more active. We as senior citizens, no, we're going to come out and assist all here. It will start with 10, it will start with 15, it will start with 20. And
Yes.
this thing will grow, it is going to grow. There's too much of people outside there waiting to see this type of movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. And I think this caller echoes the sentiments of a lot of people. People in Trinidad are very fed up. Everywhere you go, you have people saying, I'm not going to vote. Or if they vote, they're going to vote who they're going to vote out. Hopefully we'll be able to get to a stage, guys, sometime where we can vote people in.
Yeah. I think what is happening as well, something we discussed last night, the 18 to 35, let's say even 18 to 40 block of the voting mass in Trinidad and Tobago doesn't realize just how powerful we are.
Absolutely powerful.
When you have the rallies and they see the thousands or whatever, it's us. We're the thousands. We're the ones who are there. We're the ones handing out flyers and giving out T-shirts and wearing them. And we're the sea of red. We're the sea of yellow. We are the sea of green. That's us. And if we decided one day to say, okay, this is what we want. This is how we want it. This is who we want. This is how we want them to behave. Everything would turn around.
You can demand.
Everything. And the thing is that if we would behave in a way that wasn't partisan, if we could find a way to just be patriots and not partisan.
Exactly. And that can happen. I mean, I have to tell you on a personal level, and by no way do you have to agree with this. I'm getting really tired. I'm trying to look at the BBC. I'm trying to look at a little Law and Order. I'm trying to look at a little Guile, and they're the adverts that keep coming on, and that's what the caller was talking about. I mean, almost trying to brainwash people. But my little cousin, who's here with us today, she was telling me that she went to the cinema yesterday in Movie Town, and in the cinema, you normally have trailers of movies that are coming out.
Looking for you.
You now have it in the cinema. I mean, but I still feel that you just cannot brainwash people in Trinidad and Tobago anymore. Those who are gone have probably gone already, who will vote regardless of anything.
Yeah, you know the thing too is that what this government and any government that comes into power needs to look at is you put forward these things, and really and truly, I am sure that they have done a lot of good since they've been in power. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely.
I'm sure of it.
Absolutely.
But the overarching sense is distrust. People don't trust it, and then you have to understand why, and to understand that your major job is not only to do this good, but to foster a relationship of trust between you and the people. And how do you build trust? By doing what you say you will
that
do.
you're going to do. And like I say,
Communicating.
I like that, Chike. I like that. Dialogue is important. And I mean, I have to tell you, everybody knows I'm quite outspoken and views that I have, because I believe that it makes no sense to lie. I think national conversation is not really the priority. There are a group of people who are pleading, civil society groups who are pleading in Trinidad and Tobago to have a conversation regarding a particular report, Madam Prime Minister, called the Armstrong Report, that was commissioned. And it can begin. But I don't think the government needs to agree with the Armstrong Report. I think the government can come and say that they disagree. All they have to say is we disagree, and this is why we disagree. We agree with certain parts. I think this is what the JCC is asking for. But we need to talk and communicate.
And the thing is, they don't realize that they're in a very powerful position, They're in a very powerful position right now to do two things: to achieve the objective that they want, and also prove to the nation that they care. Because it's like this: if you come to the table with all your facts and all the things that you have said, and everything checks out, right? And everything you could show and persuade and make your argument and convince a majority of people, and a majority says, this is what we want. I would never stand in front of that.
We can't.
Because if a majority says we can't,
It's not democracy.
we might still say,
It
we might still stand on the side and say, I don't really agree with that, and I want history to state that I didn't agree with that. But
Yes.
I can't stop it. I can't stand in the way of it, because this is how we have decided to rule, and we will not go against the rule of law. And that's all we're asking.
And that's what
mediation.
democracy.
That's what mediation is. Mediation is come in. All right, this is mine. This is yours. How do we find a way in between?
But you see, when there's a standoff, it is who back down first. To me, it's the absolute opposite. The one who stops and says, listen, and the Prime Minister is in a wonderful position to say, listen, I'm the bigger person. I'm the leader of this country. I am saying, I will listen to what you have to say. I'm going, you're right, you're wrong, I disagree, but listen. This is not an autocratic country. This is not a dictatorship. You can tell us how many things you've done, and it's never going to be good enough, because people are still saying we're not being heard. Guys, sorry to cut you, but our time is up because we were having too much fun. So I would like you, don't worry about Tabaki. I'd like you to please give me some closing words. Mohammed?
I would like us to become a society where, let us say, a government minister has a problem. Let's say somebody's abusing their wife, or abusing alcohol or a substance or whatever, where instead of scandalizing them, we as a people or we as a group go forward and say to the individual, what you have is a problem. Your problem right now is probably impairing your judgment and making you unable to really rule in the way that you should and govern in the way that you should. So how can we help you? How can we help?
Absolutely. My dear friend Chike.
Yeah, Project 40 is about us coming around the table and having a discussion. We don't always agree. Mohammed and I don't always agree.
We have a history of
but we have to but we have to recognize our common situation, our common nationhood, brotherhood and
Absolutely.
sisterhood, and have a respectful dialogue and develop a nation along those lines.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, what these young people have done and what they're going to achieve, I have great hope for them, and I believe genuinely in my heart they can, because I believe that they are intending to put country before self. And on that note, I want to say thank you very much, guys, for coming. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to see you again. And in any way that I can help you, you know that I'm there. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you and bye-bye.